Police are investigating a shooting that left 2 dead at Florida State University.
But we're learning about the suspected gunman.
And that flood watch has been issued through your Easter weekend. Multiple rain chances, thunderstorm chances in the forecast. We'll talk about it coming up.
This could take this off the front page and out of the discussion permanently, really.
Plus, Portsmouth voters will decide where money from a sales tax will go. We'll break down what's on the ballot.
A live look outside in Springdale on this Friday. 5 News This Morning starts now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Well, good morning at 6:30. Thank you for joining us here on Channel 5 and on 5 Plus. We made it to the weekend barely, right? Like we got through because we knew this rain was coming.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit of a disappointment, but I think we're going to make it through.
Yeah, I think this weekend, more than likely, we have some times where it's going to be heavy rainfall and thunderstorms. Other times, though, might have a little bit of a break every once in a while. That might not be a complete washout for your Easter weekend, but mostly it does look like it's going to be at least impactful. Northwest Arkansas, the rest of the day today. Again, cloud coverage building in, very windy, but warm this afternoon. Daytime highs reaching up into those mid to upper 70s for Northwest Arkansas. Again, we're starting off with a little bit of sunshine out there right now. I think as we get to the afternoon, especially this evening, that's when we have a lot of cloud coverage taking over across the river valley. Pretty cloudy throughout the day today. Again, very windy as well. Those daytime highs reaching up into those low 80s due to those strong winds coming up from the south. So we have that weather impact alert for your Saturday and Sunday. What we're expecting, heavy rainfall, the chances for some strong thunderstorms as well that could cross over into the severe limit. But really, all these rain chances added up is going to lead to that flooding concern. And again, that starts as soon as this evening. We have the chances of some of those strong storms across our region, mainly late this evening. Here's a look at futurecast. Again, by the time we get closer towards 8, 9 o'clock, could start to see a few of those scattered showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, but that continues into the overnight hours, going into our Saturday, and most of your Saturday through your Easter Sunday morning looks very wet outside, and we're going to be seeing the chances for a few strong storms along the way. Let's get a check of traffic out there this morning. Here's a live look out across I-49 there in Fayetteville. Or this is there at the Slim Chickens camera. No accidents out across Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley. So far, that morning commute is looking pretty good.
It's really upsetting when you know, when I don't feel safe and somewhere where I'm supposed to call home.
Well, this morning, investigators are searching for a motive after police say a student opened fire on the campus of Florida State University.
This all happened in Tallahassee on Thursday afternoon. 2 people were killed, neither students. 6 others were taken to the hospital, including the suspected gunman, who's now in custody. Authorities identify him as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, an FSU student and the stepson of a Leon County Sheriff's deputy.
Fortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene.
Well, President Trump offered his condolences. This latest school shooting has reignited conversations about gun safety as the Florida legislature is coincidentally considering removing laws enacted after the 2018 Parkland High shooting.
Well, this weekend marks 30 years since the Oklahoma City bombing. A remembrance ceremony is happening tomorrow at the memorial. It's being moved indoors, though, due to the weather. On Saturday, among the speakers, former President Bill Clinton, who was in office at the time of the bombing. They're also remembering and reading the names of all 168 people who lost their lives. It still remains the deadliest domestic terror attack in U.S. history.
We'll be airing the full ceremony this Saturday morning on 5 Plus. Live coverage will start at 8:30. You can download 5 Plus on your TV and watch for free. 5 News anchor Morgan Wrigley will be in Oklahoma City, and she'll share stories about the victims connected to our area and how some locals rushed in to help the day of the attack. You can watch our live coverage from the memorial tonight at 5 and 6 and the 6 o'clock hour of 5 News This Morning on Saturday. And today we're remembering the victims who lost their lives in the bombing, including those with ties to our area. Just take a look. This is there on the screen. Mark from Bentonville, a native and U of A graduate. Fort Smith native Rebecca Needham and Anderson. She was a nurse. Renota Woodbridge, who graduated from high school in Batesville and earned 2 degrees from the U of A. And then Wanda Watkins, who has family ties to Rogers and is buried there.
Well, in other news this morning, a war of words between the chairman of the Federal Reserve and President Trump is heating up. Jerome Powell said the White House tariffs could hurt the economy. Now the president is talking about removing him.
And I'm not happy with him. I let him know it, and if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me.
Well, Powell criticized the tariffs earlier this week, but the president has accused the central banker of being too slow to lower interest rates in the past. The president made those remarks alongside the Italian prime minister in his first meeting with the European leader since he announced tariffs on the EU. Those go into effect in July if they can't reach a new trade deal with the U.S. Well, Fort Smith voters next month will decide whether to reallocate part of an existing sales tax to help pay for sewer repairs.
That special election is set for May 13th. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer was at the informational meeting and explains what's on the ballot.
We get the votes, 3 yes votes. This could take this off the front page and out of the discussion permanently, really.
Voters will be asked to approve reallocating a small part of a 1-cent sales tax for consent decree work, including paying off $360 million in bonds for sewer repairs. What's left of that tax will continue funding street improvements. Joey McCutcheon says he doesn't want to see any money taken from street repairs.
I'm concerned we are going to be taking money from our streets. And what does that do for our infrastructure? The length of this tax, when it goes from 8 years that they promised us in 2022 to 34 years now.
This is the first time we've had a plan to actually come up with the money to do that, and we're doing it with no sales tax increase and no rate increase beyond the small 3.5% a year that the board has already approved. The government has told us that this is a good plan.
Levon Morton, chairman for the Citizens Committee for Clean Water and Infrastructure, says this is the best option for the citizens of Fort Smith.
And we can get the construction done in 12 years, pay off the bonds in 30 years, which is a big advantage to the citizens.
Morton says the streets shouldn't be an issue.
We know that over time, the sales tax collections will go up because Fort Smith really right now is doing very well financially. And as the sales tax goes up, collections, more money will go to the streets department just naturally.
In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Well, former educator in Springdale and Fayetteville has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Benton County Prosecutor Brian Sexton says that Mark Oesterle violated the terms of his probation when he failed to register as a sex offender. He was convicted in 2021 of sexually assaulting a student while he worked in the Springdale School District and received 6 years of probation.